One. Welcome back, everybody. It is so good to see y'all yet again for another Geekly Goods Roundup, y'all. We are talking movie news of the week, and there's a lot of Marvel stuff, a lot of DC stuff to get to as well. Yo, Spider-Man suit reveal. My man Lo is dressed for the occasion. Spider-Man had a suit reveal, which is crazy. I would never think like 15 years ago we would be like this crazy over a suit reveal. But we've gotten a suit reveal. We got a little bit of box office news to talk about with Fantastic Four, as well as a wild ranking for the MCU. But man, oh man, we got a lot to get into today. What's going on, Lo? How are you?
How you doing? Warm day in California, per usual. It's like kind of the late, like Indian summer thing, where it kind of drifts into September a little bit. But yeah, man, I think it's just like whether it's the billion-dollar gross of No Way Home and some people's fondness for Tom Holland, the way my fondness is. I think people are just excited to see what's next. And I think because of No Way Home, I think people are excited, like the direction that the MCU is going to take the character. I think that's the most exciting thing. But even just the little details, like we'll get into it when we talk about the suit, but there's a lot of little things I like about what's going on with the suit. And I think it's fun. And I think it's fresh. It's refreshing because, people have been calling him Stark Boy Jr. for a long time. And I think now people can back up off that. He is now the true, the Spider-Man that everyone knows and loves. So
yeah, I'm over the Iron Boy Jr. stuff. And here's the thing about Homecoming, dude. He's in Homecoming. I'm talking Iron Man. He's in Homecoming for like under 10 minutes. Yes, I did time it, y'all. It's like 9:58 or something. So I'm like, okay, out of a 2 hour and some change, I'm like, I mean, we're saying he's Iron Boy Jr., but he barely even interacts with Iron Man in the movie. So whatever. But anyway, guys, let's get our other co-hosts in here. What's going on, LA? How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you guys?
We're good. We're good. Just chatting it up about this Spider-Man suit.
Man, it's looking. I was listening to Lowe's take, and I'm like, I have to agree. It's the most Spider-Man Tom Holland has looked like in his entire Spider-Man career, and I don't mean that to disparage his previous looks, but it is fresh. It's the most uncertainty we felt. Not, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's the least amount of information we've known about where he's going as a character, I think, in a really long time. So it is interesting. I really like how we're kind of stepping into the unknown here, and in the best way possible.
Yeah, I love that it feels like we are getting the friendly neighborhood thing back, but we're also getting like more. We're getting Punisher, Hulk, which we'll get into a little bit later. And I know people say it feels a little overcrowded, but I just learned this, guys. Apparently, they have to do that. Like Sony has something in their contracts where they're like, "Oh, you got to have an MCU character in this thing." So they're kind of contractually bound to that. And I'm like, okay, if you don't get some heavy hitters, like holy shit. I mean, Hulk back, which there's people are saying it might be the Rage Hulk, Punisher coming in. I mean, you got some heavy hitters. And to me, I really like the sound of Punisher coming in this because it sounds like him and Spidey will have a little bit of less fist to fist battles and more of a philosophical how to be a hero battle, because you have somebody who's so dark on the Punisher's end who's like, I don't care, I will take somebody out, versus Spider-Man who's like trying to say he saved villains from other universes and stuff. So it's going to be a fundamental clash of heroics, and I can't wait for that.
For sure. I mean, it's throwing it back to season 2 of Daredevil, isn't it?
100%.
With that like very same Punisher. I love it.
Yes,
I like it.
Hey, what's going on, Luke Ponto? Long time no see, my friend. Good to see you. What up? It's been a while, brother. How you been? It's good to see you in the comments, my friend. Sully Streams pulling up. What's going on, Sully? Spider-Man suit is immaculate. And tough luck. We'll be talking about Fantastic Four very soon. I'm kind of like in mortem here, in terms of Fantastic Four. But we will talk about that very soon, my friend. But first off, Eli, how you doing? Heard you saw together. What'd you think? Let us know.
Man, I was hyped. I was so excited because I was like, you know what? This is very different. It's a very interesting premise, and the way, and it's an interesting topic to talk about in a horror movie. I think, as somebody who who's currently like in her second long-term relationship and the longest term relationship I've been in my life, it is very interesting of a thing to explore. A lot of things that maybe perhaps were a little relatable, but at the same time, I was like, ooh, like these are so many red flags that they showed there of how toxic codependent relationships can be. And that was a fun exploration, but it was fun. It was a lot more tame than I expected it to be, which sounds so pretentious to me. It sounds so pretentious because it is gory. Like the body horror is in there, but I think it delivered exactly what they were selling. Like I've been seeing so many clips from the press tour where Alison Brie and Dave Franco are calling it kind of that gateway horror. Like it's good for people who are trying to get into horror. Okay. And I think that is precisely what it is. But as somebody who's already into horror, it was okay. It gave me some thrills. It had an interesting storyline, but it was a little just a little bit underwhelming in that sense. But again, that's just me and the expectation I had. I thought it was gonna go a little crazier. I thought it was gonna go a little bit,
that's what I thought.
Up here, and it was over here. It was high. It was high. It's still different, and I think it's still good for that crowd that is interested in dipping their toes into horror. But for me personally, not a home run, but not a zero either. I think it's a perfectly, serviceable little horror flick. And I think it's, I haven't seen the numbers, but my theater was jam-packed.
That's interesting because, we think about horror as a genre and there's so many different subgenres, but there's not really like a starter pack. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's not really like a hey, I guess really if you're like, oh, slasher, start with Scream or start with
like the old school stuff.
Yeah, like maybe like something that's a little older, 90s, or you might suggest starting with Freddy or Jason or whoever. But
right,
I don't think we have a modern version of that. So that very well, while it doesn't sound, as soon as you say starter level, I was like, hell.
Yeah.
It may not sound like the cinephiles that great, but like maybe for casual moviegoers, this could be a really good thing to get them more interested in horror. So it might be like one of those necessary releases, but not necessarily cinephile friendly, if you will.
Correct. It had some really, you could tell it was still neon. It was trying to be a little bit more artistic, a little bit more for the cinephile lens, if you will, with some of its shots, but it kept it very casual. I think is the best sense of the word. The script was very casual, for better or for worse. The plot was very casual, very easily predictable. But again, that's from my perspective. As somebody who's kind of a little bit of a veteran with the genre, a little bit of veteran with Neon as a studio. So for me, it's a 2-star. For somebody else, could have been a 4-star. It's like, oh wow, this was so different. I like the commentary, and I like
Wait, 2 out of 5?
2 out of 5, yeah.
Oh, okay, that's like out of 10.
That script was not great. It was very basic. No. It was very literal, and I don't know. It just didn't really work for me. But in terms of the scares, the thrills, the effects, all those little set pieces, fun. It was like it's like getting on a not necessarily a kiddie ride, like a preteen ride.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're riding a roller coaster that you rode when you were like 13, 14.
And it was scary then. Yes. But when you get on it now, it's all right, man.
I want the big boy coaster, like get me on the right roller coaster. I feel it, but I think maybe with what's that?
The Watchers trailer with Julia Garner. It came on.
Oh, Weapons?
Watchers, not Watchers. Weapons. Oh my God! Why did I say?
Yeah, Luke Ponto, man. He's in the comments chatting about it.
Good. Weapons look so good. The trailer came on before the movie, and I was like, I'm hyped for that. Actually,
that looks great.
Really interesting to see these two offerings from. I think they're both from Neon, aren't they? Very close together.
I got a screening for it tomorrow.
WB.
Ooh, you gotta let me know. Let me know what you think.
I think Weapons is WB, right?
I believe so. It was in my email. I believe so.
Okay, yeah, so it's definitely not Eon.
So, oh man, I have weapons tomorrow and Freakier Friday, and I'm sorry, I'm Team Freakier Friday. I gotta roll with Freaky
Okay.
Friday. Listen,
All
man.
right.
Whoa.
All right. All right. Let's see
Okay.
what
Hey,
happens.
that was like a childhood staple right there. I'm like, I gotta
Same.
go Freaky Friday.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid to watch it because I
Oh, it's gonna
hold
be
an
terrible.
original. So I know.
So Weapons is Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema. Because I guess
Ah.
Warner owns New Line, right? So
All right. All right.
Mhm. Luke is it's his most anticipated of the summer. Seeing it on
Heck
Friday,
yeah.
dude. Definitely
Those
come back and let
teasers.
us know what you think, man. Let us know. Well, speaking of movies coming out on Friday, we'll start with Fantastic Four in this box office. Listen, guys, we got to talk about Fantastic Four, okay? So had a drop off of around 66% from the first weekend, which is not necessarily extremely, like, I will say this, for a Marvel movie, it's a little concerning, but like if this was like, I don't know, Minecraft or something WB was trying, they would be scrambling through them offices right now. But Marvel, 66% drop, comes in at number one with $40 million domestically this weekend. Is holding up decently overseas though, because it's got over 360 million worldwide currently. Coming in at number two is Bad Guys with 22 million domestic, and Jurassic World holding on at number three. Oh, I say it, Jurassic World. There's actually another movie there, but we have Superman and Jurassic World are number 4 and 5, staying in that top 5. Sorry, number 3 is actually the new Naked Gun is number 3.
Oh,
so
doing
what
great.
a weird top 5, because doesn't it feel like we're in another time period? It's like Fantastic Four, Superman, Jurassic, Naked Gun.
2004.
What time period are we in now, man? But I mean, the big question that everybody's been talking about and everybody's been saying over on Twitter is like, is Marvel in trouble? Are things going to go awry over at Marvel Studios? And I have to say, I think there is a little bit of trouble, but I think the Fantastic Four being the underperformer is not necessarily the one to freak out about. I think if this was X-Men, if this was Spider-Man, if this was Avengers, I might would be like, whoa, they got to pull the plug right now. But it doesn't necessarily mean that they're in the best graces right now. I'm going to toss it down to you, Lo. What do you think about Fantastic Four with this second weekend drop-off? Not the biggest drop-off for the MCU, but it's a fairly
yeah,
big.
I mean, it's a big drop off, but it's also not the end of the world. I feel like this movie is going to have legs, and I feel like both Superman and Jurassic World, as you can see, they're kind of like on their way out. I just can't believe Bad Guys 2 has such an audience. Like, I don't get me wrong, I didn't mind the first Bad Guys. I think it's Sam Rockwell, right, and Awkwafina, and I can't remember the rest of the cast, but it's like,
yeah, it was a great movie, man. At first,
yeah, I mean, like, it was cool. I didn't love the first one, but I didn't realize that people wanted to see so much more of this group. I mean, maybe it's just the only kids movie out. I'm sorry, Smurfs. But yeah, huge surprise for that one. And for Naked Gun, I am so happy. A lot of people were in uproar about Liam Neeson, and I just had a feeling. I was like, before Leslie Nielsen did the first Naked Gun, he was a very serious actor. Like, people didn't think he could do comedy. And obviously after Mr. Magoo and all his other spoofs, countless other spoofs, he was even in Scary Movie 3. Leslie Nielsen developed that comedic nature that we know and love, but he wasn't like that in the early parts of his career. So I think it's interesting to see Liam Neeson dive into it. I thought he was so funny in Ted 2 and what was the other one? Million Ways to Die in the West. Seth MacFarlane obviously has a thing for Liam Neeson, but but yeah, just going back to Fantastic Four, I don't think this spells doom for the picture. I think, as Superman and Jurassic World kind of taper off, I think Fantastic Four is gonna have some decent legs, because there's not much like competition after this, right? I mean, what other big tentpole do we have? I mean,
nothing, man.
You know what
It's
I mean?
TV season. We got Wednesday
Yeah.
around the corner. We got Only Murders around the corner. We got The Bears still out. Like, it's TV season, but bruh.
Yeah, I think Fantastic Four will hold on for a couple of weeks, maybe another weekend or two at number one.
I'm with that. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that is possible. It could have some, like, I'm like, Freakier Friday, really? I don't think that's gonna knock Fantastic Four off the top. But here's what it does do for me. It shows me that these studios cannot be mashing movies together like this, bro. Because if any of them were the solo July big blockbuster, they would be at $1 billion. I was
Right.
Superman included. I'm like, yo, Superman would be $1 billion if it didn't have Jurassic World and this bookending it. Fantastic
Yep.
Four. The biggest issue with Fantastic Four to me is that it came out last. And I didn't even think about this when we were initially doing our box office guesses. I'm like, dang, like people have spent almost $100 in movie tickets by now. People are like, dude, it's back to school. I got to get my gear. Like, I'm not worried about another movie now. I saw Jurassic. I saw Superman 3 times. I'm strapped for cash. And so I think that plays a little factor into it too. But Eli, what you think about the Fantastic Four box office?
Totally agree. I think not only did it just come out too late, the economy is really tightening up, especially now with all the expenses for, like you said, back to school. You know, going to the movie theaters, and we've talked about this countless times on the show. Going to the movie theaters has become a luxury in terms of economic buying power. And if you're a family of 3, 4, 5 people, it racks up to $100 something just for one night. That's a lot. And if you're a couple, even me, I go with my fiance, it's still, something that we have to set aside, even if it's just 20, $40, but it's still a little play money we got to set aside to go see the movies. And it's just too, it's all just too back to back. And we're never going to see a Barbenheimer again. And we need to stop trying to artificially reproduce something that happened organically. That's not it. We need to just try something else. And maybe, like you said, if Superman had its summer, if this was a Superman summer, which it was and still is, quite honestly, would have made that $1 billion box office. Exactly, not even including special popcorn. Who can afford the special popcorn buckets? Where are you going to store that?
For real.
Where are you going to put that huge ass Galactus? Where?
You know what's funny is I am so tempted to get the footprint, the Jurassic Park footprint, but you look at my podcast station, it would block the whole screen. Like, what are we doing?
Too much. It's gaudy. It's excessive. Back when I'm gonna sound so old. Back when Star Wars Force Awakens came out, it was just a simple popcorn bucket with the Star Wars Force Awakens logo on it, and that's it. No bells, no whistles, and it was affordable, and it's still holding other cups at my dad's house to this day. It has served, the end of time. But it's just one of those things where the next big tentpole, like you were saying, Lo, I think is going to be Avatar. And they just started advertising Avatar. And believe it or not, people freaking love those blue aliens. They love them. Exactly. They're honestly like the Minions for adults.
I'm one of those people.
And I enjoy them. They're fine. I'm not a huge fan, but I don't like to be disparaging about it either. They're decent movies. But again, it's just something people are already talking about what's next, and Fantastic Four has barely been in theaters for a week.
Yeah, and with that being the next tentpole, my bad guys. With that being the next tentpole, that's a long ways out. I mean,
Christmas?
That's a long ways out. So that does give Fantastic Four some time. And people have been talking about box office numbers on Twitter. Here's my thing about the Fantastic Four. This is the 3rd time we're doing it. This isn't Spider-Man. It's not X-Men. It's not Superman. Is Superman. That's like that is the DC big dude. Besides Batman, Wonder Woman, you could say is top 3. Boom, there's your Trinity. If Superman did only 300-400 at the box office, I'd be like, dog, that's a problem. But Superman doing well, I think, does actually spell good for superhero movies. I think it's hey, things are going to be doing well. I think Fantastic Four should have come out later.
Yeah,
it should have
got out the way. It could have been, honestly, controversial take, because normally movies that come out in this era don't do great, but Fantastic Four could have been a good March release, because Batman did so well with the March release. have the whole month to yourself. You got spring break, so you still have people who have time. You don't have that much competition. And by not doing that, look who took over March this year, March and April. Sinners.
Yeah.
Sinners did
Yep.
fantastic in the spring. Springtime is a good things are warming up, especially if you live in a colder climate. People are, are going out. They're already, kind of pre-gaming summer in a way. I think this could have been the perfect spring movie. And you could have had Thunderbolts later in the year, could have it been an August release. Let Superman breathe. You don't have to go up against that, because I'm sorry, as much IP as you have, Marvel, it's hard to go against Superman in terms of IP.
It is. And I just want to comment on the it's the end for Marvel. Here's the thing. It's just the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
If it was Spider-Man or Avengers, or I would be like, bro, okay, sound the alarm, ring the bell. It's a problem. But here's the thing: is the Disney Plus thing. The Disney Plus release schedule did hurt them. It did. I would say the movie that might have hurt them the biggest maybe was like Thor: Love and Thunder, and then that started a little bit of a chain reaction after that. But I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, Marvel is doomed. Oh, the brand is dead. The brand is done. I'm not ready to say that yet, because we all ran over to Twitter to look at the Spider-Man suit reveal. So it's like, all right, well, we could say that as much as we want. And the rebuttal to that is always, well, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, those are your three safe bets. I know, but at the same time, you got Avengers Doomsday around the corner from that. Secret Wars around the corner. We getting $1 billion movies. I'm not ready to say Marvel is dead yet. I'm not ready.
Also, there's a lot of us, millions of it actually, that watched Chairs. We were staring at Chairs, guys.
Chairs. Hype as hell. Every
you
single
guys, wasn't me.
I stayed the whole 3 hours live.
Absolutely not.
Martrail, I think it might be your browser, because everybody's talking and hearing each other. But welcome. Yeah. I don't know if I'm ready to quite say Marvel's dead. I will say there is a little bit of a saturation problem still, but we're starting to really re-rack and refocus and shift things to where it's like, okay, nothing's coming out for another year. Just like with Deadpool and Wolverine came out last year, it was like, okay, we've got a year. They're starting to space some things out. And what I will say is a quick little shout out to Eyes of Wakanda, which was actually a phenomenal little show. 4 episodes, animated, Disney Plus, 30 minutes apiece. If you haven't caught it yet, wow. I did not expect Eyes of Wakanda to be this good, but they tell wonderful stories in an anthology style about this warrior faction of Wakanda called the War Dogs. And every episode is a different time period. It's a very well put together show. Very well put together. And I think Marvel Television has finally hit the formula. They finally know what they're doing down there. Very, very good.
The genre thrives in animation.
It does?
To me, I think it's the best medium to tell those stories. I'm not, obviously not disparaging live action adaptations. I think they're wonderful. But look at X-Men 97. Look at oh my god, the name was on the tip of my tongue. My Adventures with Superman? I always mess up that title.
Yeah, that was perfectly
My Adventures with Superman. Also really well loved. It's a good show.
Harley Quinn.
You have freaking Invincible. This is also a very successful animated show. So it's something, and you can make it as PG or as rated R as you want. Again, it's a medium. It is an art form, and it's something that lends itself so well, and it's, I find, more forgiving, because when you take something as whimsical and fantastical as superheroes and try to translate that onto the big screen, you get reviews of, oh my god, that's cringe. Oh my god, that looks weird. Oh, I find that hard to believe. Let's suspend belief, and it's easier to do that when it's animated. So definitely, I have to catch Eyes of Wakanda, but I'm not surprised that it's fantastic. Look at oh my god, the What If series, also really good series.
What If? Oof.
Oh, the last one. I haven't caught up. I saw the first season. That's it. Oh no.
My thing about the What If scenarios is I'm like, okay, Why, especially that first batch is the biggest proprietor of this. Why are they not wild scenarios? Party Thor, really? I don't care. Also, the Killmonger's friends with Iron Man. What? It was the same outcome as if he would have became friends with T'Challa. It was the
Here
same
has
outcome.
arrived.
I'm like, the man took the tech, went to Wakanda, completely predictable. Everybody predicted that.
There were some good ones though. Like I liked Marvel Zombies.
I like the Doctor Strange. Exactly, the zombies. I like the
good.
Doctor Strange one too.
And Ant-Man killed the Avengers. That was kind of interesting. Like,
Nah, that one I was like,
Leo really said, "What if it didn't exist?"
that right there sounds like the way to go. And then they made an Avengers team at the end of it, and I was like, well, wasn't the point to not do that? And they just were like, yeah, man, like Ultron is like
I live in ignorant bliss.
craziness. But let's get to the next story, y'all, because this was breaking the internet on Saturday of all days. Like Sony just said, listen, we want to dominate your weekend. So let's talk about Spider-Man real quick. We were talking about it a little bit earlier, and Eli, you said it perfectly. This feels like a homemade suit, but an ode to both Tobey Maguire and Andrew's suits. Like it looks like it has
makes sense narratively too.
Yeah, he just met the two of them. He's finally growing into a Spider-Man that is in his own neighborhood, doing his own thing. I love it. I think that it has the raised webbing very similar to the Raimi trilogy, and then it has a dark blue, under the arms and also on the side. It has it just like Andrew Garfield's, and it really looks like the Marvel Ultimate Alliance Spider-Man suit. It looks
you're so right. You're so right.
It just feels to me like he finally has embraced that, like, yeah, I can't be using the Star Tech. I gotta build my own web shooters, gotta build my own suit out. It just feels like Spider-Man has embraced the heroics on his own, and he's running through the street doing his thing. There was a lot of other photos, y'all, of him just like waving on set and doing things on set. And listen, Destin Daniel Cretton is in some of the photos, and they look like they're having an absolute ball. What do we think about the new Spider-Man suit? Because honestly, man, if we're going out of 10 hype level, I'm an absolute 15. This looks great. I love the emblem, the web, the spider looks great. Like, no more of that little weird baby spider he had in Homecoming and shit. Yeah, that's the one that Lowe's got on. Sorry, Lo.
I'm like, let me put my jacket on real quick.
It just looks like an adult.
Lo just catching hella strays.
My bad, bro. Robbie.
Leo said, "Get that Hurley ass logo out of here."
No, let's see it. Let's see it.
Show the
not bad.
Oh,
the Leo, little drone. His little droney spider.
How are we feeling about the new suit, Lo?
Well, I mean, I think Eli said it earlier. It's the raised webbing for me. Like, I just love how he's kind of like borrowing elements from his mentors from the previous film, and I love that. And like you said, I think we're getting back to basics, and that's the most exciting aspect from where we end up into where we are now. Not to mention, I'm just so stoked for Destin Daniel Cretton to kill it again, because Shang-Chi was one of my biggest surprises of, what was that, 2022? Feels like ages ago.
God, yeah.
Love that film. I love what he does with action, and I can't wait to see his perspective on Spider-Man action, because not that Tom Holland wasn't doing a bunch of punching and kicking in the other films, but it's just interesting to get a fresh director's perspective, especially someone with that already showed his action prowess in a previous Marvel film. So I think the suit looks phenomenal. Obviously, the spider has a little bit of that Garfield amazing spider with the really lengthy limbs, and man, I can't wait to see him swinging in action, man. I'm also at like a 20, 15 out of 10. I'm just off the charts, just like you, brother. Like, it looks so good.
And I think Destin Daniel Cretton, to your point, you made a great point about a fresh set of eyes. It's like, okay, we had John Watts do the original trilogy, and that was like Spider-Man as a teenager. That was like Spider-Man before becoming an adult, before really embracing the street crime. That was an old era. We're stepping into a new era, and I love that we are stepping into an era with an action director who just has this very stylish look that I think is going to really mature the Spider-Man movies in a way we haven't even seen yet. Because Toby, I feel like Raimi was like ready to do it with Spider-Man 4, cut. Andrew never made it to Amazing Spider-Man 3. Finally, we're making it to a fourth Spider-Man, and I feel like it's going to like actually be a stylistic change because we've been rebooting and Spider-Man's a teenager again. He's back in high school.
Times to try.
Yeah, and I'm like, we finally get college Spidey. And not that, I mean, like Spider-Man 2, y'all, don't get me wrong. But like, I just feel like with Tom Holland, we had a whole trilogy of him being in high school. Now we get to have a trilogy of him being an adult. And I love it. I'm so excited. I can't wait for the college trilogy. Glad to see my man back on the street level. Eli, what you think?
I have to echo everything that you guys said. I think the suit is, and we touched on it, the suit has a sense of nostalgia, but there is something distinctly modern about it. I really am, and I'm going to get into the nitty gritty here because we already talked about the raised webbing, but I really enjoyed the sheen of the material. I like that it's not matte, it's not flat. It's not that metallic look of obviously of the Iron Spider suit. I love how real it feels. It definitely doesn't look like a CGI suit. And yeah, and it's so strange how technically this has less texture than like those first suits that we saw in the original trilogy, because obviously those suits were influenced by, like, for better for worse, they were influenced by Tony Stark and his tech. And even if it was Peter Parker designing it, he had all of that tech at his disposal to create this, and he's back to basics. And it is going to be really interesting to see Peter Parker no longer be a nepo baby in a sense. just a little bit, but I like that he's going to start from scratch, but not necessarily in terms of maturity. He's gone through so much. He's learned so much. He's been up here, and now he's gonna have to learn to adapt down here. And I think placing him in that street level crime fighting setting is gonna be a return to form, not only for his character, but again, like we mentioned, the characters around him. He's going to be interacting with a lot of different faces for him, but at the same time, new and familiar faces for us. So I think it's going to be a really, with Daniel Destin Creighton, I think it's going to be a really good combination that is going to bring people back to theaters. Look at that. That looks good. I saw. I totally forgot about. Yeah.
Look,
he's British. He's British. Leave him alone. I saw a tweet that was terrible though. So someone has to CGI his bulge out of the movies. I'm like, man, let's have some decorum, sir.
The web shooters, man. They got to get the web shooters out. Listen, he got 4 web shooters in this picture, man. Like, come on, bro. Tuck them in now.
Let's just put some trunks on him. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
Like, what's up with this picture though? It look like he's slapping his own butt.
Man,
he's
I
having
like
way
it
too
though.
much
It
fun.
looks like it looks like he actually took the material. He went to Joanne Fabrics, got the materials, and he took it to a sewing machine. He found a Goodwill and went to work. And I appreciate that. And I will not be surprised if we see him actually do that as an ode to the older movies, but watching YouTube videos as he's trying to learn how to sew. That feels very much this basically Gen Z Peter Parker. I like it.
People are pointing out the web shooters and they're like, oh, the web shooters are too big. Here's the thing, this man is broke, y'all. Like, he does not have the technology or money to be like, hey, he doesn't have Aunt May to be like, hey, can I bump $150?
Nanoparticles here, guys.
Yeah, the dude don't got no Tony Stark, no Aunt May. He's like, he's digging through the trash can, getting whatever he can, guys. I mean, Tony Stark built a suit of armor with scraps in a cave. So, I mean, Peter Parker has to do the same thing.
You think he's going to get in touch with the Daredevil's guy?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Love that.
I think that my favorite thing about this suit is just that it has bits and pieces of the other Spider-Man suits. I feel like it just has these details from the Raimi trilogy, from the Andrew Garfield duology. It just feels
Still feels his
awesome.
though.
It definitely feels like it's Tom's, but it just feels like while being Tom's, it also can pay homage to the past.
Correct.
And honestly,
I like that they kept the eyes that he has. That's very like Steve Ditko.
Yeah, for sure. I will say
very Tom Holland.
I think I hate to say it, but I don't think we'll see this suit for long in the movie. Every time he comes out with a suit, he's all like they're advertising highly. Remember the black suit for No Way Home?
Oh my god!
Movie for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, what are they gonna do? Yank this off of it? He's gonna rip it up in the first like 10 minutes. Like, come on, guys, let us have this suit for a while. That's all I gotta say. Let us have this suit for a while, and kind of dipping back into where we were. I mean, we said they say Marvel's dead, but look at how good this is doing. So I think the suit reveal was a good way to get people's mouths wet a little bit before Spider-Man comes out next year. Just give them a little tease, a little taste. I think this is a good marketing technique.
I do have a hot take though on the release of these teasers. I think shifting the conversation on the internet to just Spider-Man also took attention away from Fantastic Four. I'm not gonna lie.
I think so too, a little bit, but I kind of think they looked and saw them numbers declining and were like, well,
yeah, they were like, fuck it.
And what I will say, the people put out the teasers were Sony, so I think Sony kind of stepped on Daddy's hand a little bit, and it's like, that might not go over well with Kevin Feige.
Also, so many San Diego Comic-Con announcements too at the same time. So everyone's like brain is in the future in terms of the comic books, television, and hell, even Critical Role was making a whole bunch of announcements this week, and I'm like, yes, let October come, or November now when we have the Mighty 9 series dropping on Prime Video.
Yeah, you bring up an excellent point because they didn't even go to San Diego Comic-Con. They had Deadpool and Wolverine, a whole screening last year. They should have did that with Fantastic Four. Make the people understand. And I know that they showed Fantastic Four last Comic-Con, but I'm like, yeah, bring it back. All they even had to do, if they didn't want to do a panel, do a special screening. Have the cast come out. Have them hand out wristbands and be like, hey, here's a free ticket for the next watch.
The press tour doesn't end opening weekend, and I think that's something that, oh my gosh, who did it? That's something that the cast of, I want to say, Superman and Thunderbolts did. Like, they were very, very present even before and after the movie, especially Thunderbolts with that whole like new Avengers reveal and all that, yada yada. Obviously we can also criticize that rollout, but there is something to be said about having actors do kind of a Q&A post film. Like, we all know the spoilers. We all know, like, let's dig into it. And that keeps people thinking about the movie and wanting to see it again in a new light.
100%. Yeah, I think it just really helps to have the cast boots on the ground talking about it, especially at the biggest convention in the world. I think that's a good move. Speaking of cast, Mark Ruffalo and Michael Mando got confirmed for Brand New Day officially. And this is great because we've been running around hearing all these rumors and, oh my God, Hulk is in it. Maybe not, blah, blah, blah. Finally, a confirmation. He's in it. Scorpion's back. So Scorpion's post-credit scene in Homecoming isn't a waste. He actually is coming back.
9 years later.
9 years later. So much later. I think this is great. I love to see the Hulk in any movie. It's one of my posters back here. I think they're going to go Rage Hulk again because apparently Mr. Negative might be the villain. That might make him a Rage Hulk again. But I gotta say something, y'all. It's weird that fans want Rage Hulk back so bad because there wasn't that much, in my opinion, there just wasn't that much wrong with the Professor Hulk. I understand the dab thing was kind of goofy. I get it, whatever. A couple of cringe things, but I think Hulk having a subconscious wasn't a terrible thing, in my opinion. I think the whole,
more
we gotta have
interesting.
Rage Hulk back. I think that's I don't know. It's just a little antiquated, if you will. I just think, yeah, we've seen Rage Hulk a lot, and I like Professor Hulk. We never saw that, so I think we'll go back to Rage because the people want it. But what do you guys think about bringing back Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, Elay?
I think the role is his for the rest of his life.
Till
Until he's
90.
90. Yeah, I think he's a wonderful actor. I think he has such a good diverse filmography, and he really he's just one of those characters that I can't imagine anyone else playing right now, and especially the way that the character is kind of aging with him. Yeah, I'd rather, if they're going to include the Hulk, I'd rather they get Mark Ruffalo, at least for the time being. And especially giving I like the idea of giving Peter a sense of familiarity with the Avengers to try to like grieve and transition during this time, because again, we left off.
I
Man,
think that funky little haircut son ain't gonna be nowhere to be found.
no, he's at summer camp.
Yep.
No, but I think it's gonna help him grieve that transition between being surrounded by people you love, being on a team, and then just being alone. So gonna be interesting. I just hope that they don't. I like my issue with, oh, let's just bring back the Rage Hulk and make him mindless again, is that he only really has one function like that, and it feels repetitive. We've already seen it for so many years. Give him something else to do. Let him maybe not be, an antagonist force the entire movie.
Yeah, because we did it in Avengers. I'm like, all right, we're gonna do the same. We're gonna do the same run back. I mean, somebody takes over the Hulk again, and I think it's kind of cool with like Spider-Man and Punisher. And it's like, if you think about it, it's a very big threat for Spider-Man. So it's like,
for sure,
I kind of understand this brick wall of a monstrous being like, okay, the kind of a symbolism of like, okay, his crime fighting has gotten to such a height that he's got to stop a mutated monster.
Mm-hmm.
I get where they want to cook with that, but I think we've seen that story already. I think what I could see happening is maybe Hulk also has some sort of disagreement with the crime fighting philosophies, and it's Punisher, Spider-Man, and Hulk all battling each other in a sense of like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go about it this way, but that's not the right way. Maybe it's something like that, and then they realize, hold on. It clicks and it's like, well, wait, the real evil is over there. So
Yeah.
I think that's a cool way to incorporate Hulk. But what are you thinking, Lo?
Honestly, like, as someone that also really liked Professor Hulk / Smart Hulk, whatever you want to call him, I'm wondering, because I know that it was probably a budgetary thing to have Mark Ruffalo's cameo at the end of Shang-Chi be in his human form, and I think he found a way to go back and forth. I think it'd be kind of fun if Peter Parker was just picking Banner's brain, doing like not the Science Bros thing the way that Stark and Banner did it, but I think it'd be kind of fun like utilizing him in that manner versus.
I like that much more.
I'm not saying I don't like Hulk and all that, but I mean, we literally just saw Harrison Ford doing the Red Hulk. We don't really need another angsty Hulk romping around. It's like we've seen that. So I think it'd be fun if they are going to incorporate his character, just maybe to use the brains of Banner versus the brawn. And also, like, especially if he's going to go up against someone like Mr. Negative, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I think I was initially like kind of, sorry, this guy's the worst. Motorcycles. Initially, I didn't like this when I saw this announcement, because, we were getting that feeling of like, oh my God, there's so many characters, but Superman's a good example of, it's not always what you think it is. Like, even though there's XYZ many characters, they don't always dominate the screen time like the way that you think they do. So I'm on board as long as it's written well. So
yeah, 100% agree, man. I'm on board. Just, give us a good script, which with Destin Daniel Cretton involved, I think we're gonna get some magic, bro. Like,
also, really quick, let's not forget Michael Mando. I really want to see Scorpion. So hell yeah, like that's gonna be cool. Especially, I don't know how they're gonna do this suit. If it's gonna be like a mech tail,
I don't know.
Or whatever.
Let's see if something sinister happens.
Oh, 6 sinister things, 6 of them.
Perhaps.
Whoosh! I see you, Eli. You hit that from like half court.
Yes, sir. I just
From the
hope
logo.
that we don't get like the mega kaiju battle at the end, like we got at Shang-Chi, because I think that's the weakest part of Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Like
For
let's
real.
let's keep it with just instead of one huge enemy, let's keep it street level. Let's have everybody fight. Yes, let's do the bronze, but let's see some clever tricks. Let's see people fight dirty, you know?
Well,
Yeah.
my thing is like my favorite scene is the bus scene, and it's like
Exactly. Phenomenal.
let's keep it at that level. Or if we're gonna do street level, let's keep it at that level. You know, like
That
Keep it
bus
like that.
scene is
If you want to make
unreal.
it feel grander, change the setting. Put it somewhere crazy. But let's keep the camera down here.
Man, Shang-Chi, I'm telling you, that would have been my number one MCU if it was not for that last 30 minutes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because like it was like,
Totally
dude, we went from
agree.
the bus
Totally
to the
agree.
building fight to I was like, dude, this is some shit Marvel's never done. And then we just kind of
Sauce.
slow all that down. I'm like, whew, all right, we kind of hit the brakes a little there. But I mean, yeah, it has some sauce, and I think that Spider-Man Brand New Day, Michael Mando, man, this is a chance for him to make an excellent Scorpion. I think if they make it look in the style of how Vulture looked, kind of like, yeah, you kind of got the ridiculous wings a little bit, but you also have a more modern tech suit. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Give him the tail, give him the tech. I'm so into it. All right, y'all. Last one of the night. Let's just visit this little list over here that Variety put together of every single Marvel project, all 54 Marvel TV and movie shows ranked by Variety. Now, I think I agree with you, Lo. I think where I hit a stumble, though, I'm gonna tell y'all where I hit my first snag. Moon Knight at 51. I just think that's way
Ain't
low for
no.
Moon Knight.
Ain't no.
Oscar
fucking
Isaac
way.
down there, y'all. Oscar
Ain't
Isaac.
no way Brave New World is above Eternals. Y'all just homophobic. Ain't no
Listen,
way.
ain't no way Eternals on my list is gonna be near that low. Crazy.
Yeah, no way. It's in my
Is there
top 10,
any in
honestly. At least
this?
the last time I checked.
Yeah, is there any in this besides Eternals, Moon Knight? Are there any more in this like bottom 10 here, bottom like 14 that are like really like no, they don't belong there to y'all? I think Echo doesn't
I don't.
belong at 14.
Yeah, I thought Echo
Never
was
saw
cool,
Echo, so I can't say.
and also I think Werewolf by Night is way better than people realize. I don't know, maybe they're just hating on it, but I liked Werewolf by Night.
That's really shocking.
Oh my
to
god,
me.
I didn't even
only
notice
ever
that
heard
one.
like good things about Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, I don't know how much farther it can go, but I never viewed it as like a bad Marvel show or anything like that. I love
Falcon and Winter Soldier was also not that bad.
it's better than I
Yeah.
remember.
Uh-huh.
I remember I kind of hated it at first, but it's better than I remember.
I enjoyed it. I think it was just those last 2 episodes that just kind of crumbled, but those first 4 episodes were interesting. Like I was entertained. I liked it.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
thought it was something fun.
Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie's chemistry really makes it, and that's what's fun to watch. So
Rocks the house.
100%. Yeah, we needed
Yeah,
that in
they
Brave
are
New World.
so good together.
Needed and Anthony needed he needed his scene partner, I think. That I really love their chemistry together.
Here's one thing I gotta say about this list. They put She-Hulk kinda higher than I thought. I was like, okay,
Interesting.
She-Hulk is quite up there because over Werewolf by Night, over Age of Ultron. I don't know if I can say that it's over Werewolf by Night. I did really like She-Hulk, by the way. I don't know if I'm gonna put it above Werewolf by Night. I'm not putting it above Eternals.
Weird.
Definitely not.
I want to know who, like, what's your sign? What's your astrological sign here, guys? Like, who made this?
Ant-Man and the Wasp is way too high in my opinion, and
yeah,
like you, Leo, I loved She-Hulk. And what's interesting, I was actually reading the article. They actually loved the series, but they just thought she looked really bad. They were more so critiquing it for like the CG.
I mean, if they gave him a little time to cook, it'd be fine.
Thunderbolts
Yeah.
is not above the Marvels. I'm sorry.
I don't think that's a good way to critique a show, though. It's like, oh, the CG looks bad, but you
The
love
story
the
was
comedy
great.
and you love Tatiana Maslany. Like, I don't know.
Oh, she was great. I thought Tatiana was not the problem with She-Hulk. I think the problem with She-Hulk was that it actually it was kind of weird. Like the wedding episode didn't belong in the pack, I don't think. And then I think sometimes the show just didn't go as to the bounds that it wanted to go. Like it wanted to be that last episode all the time. And I'm like, why not? Like go as
I would have
crazy
preferred
and
less
comedic as possible.
episodes if you need
Yeah,
to like conserve
I
budget.
think cut the wedding episode out and then it would have been even a little tighter even.
100%.
And then there was one other episode I was like, we really need to go there and do all that. There was one more episode I just thought didn't belong in the pack, but otherwise She-Hulk was good. But y'all mean to tell me Hawkeye above Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, above Thunderbolts, above the first Doctor Strange? What?
Ain't no way.
What? No, ain't no way, homie.
This you know what this list was made by? This list was made by somebody who paid money to be on the Jeremy Renner app.
I mean, had to have, because I'm looking at this and I'm like,
That's too
Hawkeye
much.
all the way up there is crazy.
Insane, actually.
You know, hey, it is crazy. I agree, but I rewatched Hawkeye leading up to what was I prepping for? I think I was prepping for Daredevil because I wanted to see some more Kingpin, but I like Hawkeye. I liked it. Like I thought it was.
It's perfectly fine, but 21.
Yeah, it's high. That's really high.
That's
really high.
I don't know that
What's
I'm even
9
putting
plus
Hawkeye.
10?
I don't know if I'm putting Hawkeye above Echo. Sorry to say it, but I think I got Echo sitting higher than Hawkeye. I definitely have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and even the holiday special higher than Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye is way too hot. Over Miss Marvel? No, ma'am. I don't know.
Such peak Marvel television. I swear to God.
It's kind of weird that these three are like hovering around the same.
It's misogynistic. It's what it is. That's grouped there for a reason.
Wait, hold on, Eli. I really hate to burst your bubble, but a lot of this was written by a couple of ladies. The majority of it was written by ladies.
I said what I said.
Well, maybe the guys in the group like overrode them.
Women can be just as misogynistic as men. I said it.
Yep. That's actually true.
Oh yeah.
That's actually
they're
hello.
Conservative women. I mean, hello.
Oh my God.
Trad wives.
R. Smith, take it back.
I like the little trad wives. Yeah, they don't. Anyway, I'm getting into a whole other topic. We'll go 21 down to 3.
Top 10.
I just think the fact that okay, so here I'll call out the ones I think are in a good location. I think Spider-Man: Homecoming, The Avengers, Agatha All Along is actually a pretty good string right there.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a pretty good little stack right there. I'm like, okay, yeah, I could see Homecoming around 14, 15, Avengers. By now, the first Avengers definitely looks like a TV movie. So by now, yeah, I think the first Avengers can be in that top 15, top 20. And then you got Infinity War all the way down at 12.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
I mean, Infinity War, arguably the better of the two-parter.
Yeah, that's my one.
Guardians 2 at 11.
Guardians 2 is also peak MCU of that era, in my opinion.
You like Volume 2, huh?
I really like Volume 2.
It shows how much they like the first one, though, because the first one's way up there. So
I think Volume 2 deserves that spot more than Volume 1.
I agree. And
that's why we're here. That's why we're here, you know? We're breaking it down. But Loki above Volume 2?
Here's where I'm at.
Loki was fire, though. I love Loki.
In my own personal list, I'm switching Guardians Volume 2 for Volume 3. I'm like, what the hell? 3 was damn near at the bottom. I'm like, nah, man, you can't tell me the one that had Rocket Raccoon's backstory Nah, man. I'm not about to put that at the flat bottom and put 2 at 11. That's way too high, man. Over Civil War, I just no.
With the High Evolutionary, like he was one of the best villains in the MCU. So he was damn good.
It was fantastic. He made you hate him. I mean, on a level, I haven't hated any of the other villains because honestly, we didn't see Thanos picking up animals and torturing animals and shit. Like I'm like, okay, I know he snapped away half a life, but we didn't see animals and stuff getting blipped away. So when you start messing with the animals, I'm like, man, I really hate you on a whole other level.
Hey, he straight up shot Rocket's girlfriend, man. That was cold-blooded.
That was horrible. Like, horrendous. Horrendous.
Eli's like reliving the moment. She's like, no.
Y'all ready for number 1? Because I haven't revealed number 1 yet.
I played a little game of deduction here. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, so here's where things get extremely generic. Here's the thing. I think things get extremely generic. And that's why I'm looking at this list and I'm like, I feel like they punched it into ChatGPT and said, hey, give it a couple of hot takes, a few. Seriously, I'm like, Endgame at number 1, really? I mean, Black Panther, I have Black Panther number 2, so I can't talk. But I'm just like, okay, that top 3 is very much like I'm sorry, it's kind of like a consensual, like, yeah, like most people like these 3 the most. Where the hell is Spider-Man? No Way Home's at 7. Okay.
No, that's too low.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't necessarily agree, but I appreciate the boldness of putting WandaVision at 4.
Oh yeah, I agree with it because it's also peak MCU. I think WandaVision deserves to be in that top 10. I think X-Men 97 deserves to be in that top 10. But
I actually think their top 10 solid. You might just have to reorder some stuff.
Yeah, because I like Ragnarok. I think Loki's great, but I don't know. I feel like
I wouldn't have Loki in my personal top 10.
Right? I don't know. Loki didn't impact me that much. I think if you're gonna
looking low up there.
I don't know. Even the first, hot take.
Where's my horn?
Iron Man? The first Iron Man serves its purpose, but I'm not rewatching it.
I think the first Iron Man is one of those where it's like, if you have it in your top 10, admirable. If you don't, also like it's okay if you don't have it in your top 10.
But I think it's like that's your Casablanca.
Yes, exactly. Because it gives you. I mean, it started it all. I get it. The practical suits and effects look great still. Like I understand. I get it. I 100% understand. It aged very well, but I just look at the other 54 and I'm like, I don't know if I'm putting it in my personal top 10, but I think this is actually the best part of the list is that top 10. Because I'm like, okay, I can at least say that 8 out of those would be in my top 10. And it's all of them except Iron Man and Loki. The rest of them would probably make my personal top 10.
I have a letterbox list. I'm actually curious right now. I'm like, what was? Because I haven't updated it in a while.
Share it. I got mine too.
I'm like, I had Soldier at my number 1 for so many years.
Winter Soldier. I mean, that's a good number 1.
I had that at my. I don't even remember what my number 1 is anymore.
Mine for sure was Infinity War. I just feel like in capturing that comic book feel, but also just putting all of those heroes together.
I don't know why I personally always had like this resistance to having an Avengers movie as a number 1 because I feel like it's unfair.
Like it's cheating.
It feels like cheating because you have all the characters, and you have all characters that you've already developed in another movie.
Hold on. In defense of it though, Eli, it also could have been really bad. Like they nailed
very
it.
True. Very true. That's fair and that's commendable. Yeah, this is solid. This is solid.
Here's my movies only. So it's been a little while. I gotta go back and do some updating because I don't know if I have Deadpool and Wolverine that high no more. But I would say this is about where I sit still for the most part. Like I've got my top 10 is No Way Home, Black Panther, Infinity War, Guardians, Civil War, Captain America, Winter Soldier. Sorry, Eli. Eternals, Deadpool, Wolverine, Wakanda Forever and Avengers Endgame. I think I would even swap Endgame out for Ragnarok at this point, and then I would swap
Ragnarok's
out
solid.
Deadpool and Wolverine for Shang-Chi. But otherwise, I think
Yeah.
I'm pretty much the same.
So comparable, like, kudos to Daniel Destin Cretton having a movie that came out not that long ago, like very late MCU, be so high up on these rankings. That's impressive. That's a damn good movie.
Shang-Chi's my 6.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
It's fucking good, dude. It's good,
It's
man.
top 10. It's top 10 material.
But I would just
Yeah,
say
I'm
this
excited.
list absolutely slides off of a cliff after 10. It's
crazy.
It's a mess.
It's crazy.
It's a mess.
drinking game. It's a drinking game, is what it is, guys.
What the hell is Civil War all the way down there? And then you have this good string of like Avengers, Agatha, Homecoming.
Yeah. I
Then
appreciate the
Shang-Chi's at 18.
Agatha, admiration, but Agatha does not go above Shang-Chi. I'm sorry, guys. Like,
You know what's funny is Tyler's making this joke, but I also imagine him saying this at the list, like, "What? This is crazy."
This is crazy.
Yeah. Also, I like the first Doctor Strange more than the second one.
Yeah, same.
That's valid. I mean, I like Multiverse of Madness, but that's valid. That's valid.
Yeah, I really, really like that score. I like the score for that first Doctor Strange. And I love
So
Mads
good.
Mikkelsen. I think he's a great actor and is a great villain for that movie.
I think they kind of blew their load on having him be the villain of the first one. I was like, dude, you should have had him be the multiverse
long-term
of madness.
shit.
Yeah.
That's, you know what? That's fair. That's true.
I just realized I have WandaVision way too low on my list over here. I got to update this. It's
WandaVision's
definitely
good. WandaVision
Where you got
such,
WandaVision
like,
at,
television.
man? Where you got that WandaVision sitting at?
WandaVision's at like 20. I know.
I've never gone through the trouble of ranking the TV and movies together, though. Like,
it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, like it's kind of like going. Well, not anymore. We can't say that and go where no human has gone before, and now they've done it. So I don't know. Interesting. I like the conversation and debate it sparked, and it's brought us closer. This is a bonding experience.
I have WandaVision at the exact same spot as that person, number 4. That goddamn WandaVision was
good shit. Good shit.
Every episode, I'm sorry, that's one TV show that Marvel has done. I'm like, don't delete not one episode. I want another one. I don't want any of these taken away. Not one.
Yep.
But y'all gotta let us know down in the comments which positioning was the most ridiculous. I think for me on that list was Hawkeye being above all that.
For sure.
And yeah, I was like, that's a little ridiculous. I think that might have been the one thing on the list where I was like, what the hell? And yeah, nobody disagrees that Secret Invasion is at the flat bottom.
Didn't bat an eye.
Didn't bat an eye because right where it belongs. But y'all, we're gonna go around the horn, let the people know where they can find you and what you got coming up on your platforms. Starting with you, Lo. What you got coming up, my friend?
As always, you can follow me on Twitter and Letterboxd at Marcellus Durden. I'm a proud critic and editor at the Cinema Spot. We got a lot of great reviews out. We just dropped a review for The Naked Gun, Fantastic Four First Steps, of course, Superman, and Eddington. Check out all these other great film and TV reviews at thecinemaspot.com and all socials at The Cinema Spot.
Definitely be sure to check them out over at the Cinema Spot, y'all, and thecinemaspot.com. Eli, what you got coming up?
You can follow me at Captain Melendez on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd for some hot and also lukewarm takes. And you can also follow me. They tend to be hot, but I try to keep it, diverse. You can also follow me and my fellow critics over at PR Critics on Twitter and Instagram. You can also listen to us at the PRCA podcast, everywhere you can listen to podcasts, including Spotify.
Definitely be sure to go check them out, guys, on all their respective platforms. Yo, these are some of the greatest content creators in the game. So be sure you're following them over on social media platforms. And hey, if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, guys. We're coming out with shorts every single day covering Marvel, movie news, and more. Hit that subscribe button, guys. I got an interview with an actress from the new Daniel Day Kim series, Butterfly. Just sat down with an interview earlier today. So you will see that up in the next week, as well as reviews from Wednesday, Butterfly, and eventually, not anytime soon, but eventually Only Murders in the Building as well. Guys, TV season is in season, guys. And we also have more movies around the corner. We got Bad Guy. I'm going to see Bad Guys too. And then there's other movies down the line that will be coming out as well. So stay tuned to the channel. And hey, if you're new, hit that subscribe button and come back every single week because we do this every week. 6 p.m. PT, 7 p.m. MT, 8 p.m. CT, 9 p.m. ET. Y'all, we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.